past papers too.
Yeah, definitely. But so kind of like spread out all over. Do you mind just like moving down a little bit and I'll put it there?
Yeah, you would just drop the papers there.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Cool. Let's do this. Audit defining expressing due to your obligation period, there's no more obligation. You do not thus sufficient negate because logic requires having an obligation, but an action have to have an obligation for that action, which means that have the choice to carry out the given action or not. Moral obligations are virtuous and evolutionary concept. John Collier 1 writes, as society developed into articulated social conventions and law and increasing complex social environments on a surface manifestation or inherent behavior, adaptation constitutes social items that combine according to contingency of particular cultural issues, feel functional moral system, but motives are concealed from us because they are not cognitive, they are to be discovered and enhanced and progressed towards universal deficits. Hence, epistemology negates moralities and is an evolutionary mechanism claimed that moral obligation really natural to responses that emerge from environmental factors, therefore impossible to make objective moral claims without committing naturalistic fallacy. Collier 2 continues. A turns out objective morality is epistemically inaccessible, and naturalistic fallacy rules out of varying moral imperatives and the fact that they have the devices no internal evolutionary justification for morality. Since there is no justification for morality, there's no need to claim for example, like a moral force, morality is a contingent phenomenon with no objective justification. Therefore, there are no binding moral obligations. It's epistemically impossible to make objective moral claims that are logically consistent. This is how it applies to Jalon's case. This is a triggering skepticism, which is going to be really crucial because all of his arguments are reasons why impression is bad, but there is no normative reason why impression is bad, and it's also answers back all of his arguments at the top. The wise analysis where you read like the debate analysis at the top. But what's more, it's also a post-fiat as well as pre-fiat implications because even if you can't just say skepticism is true in a post-fiat world, it's also true in a pre-fiat world. And any objection morality does not exist. We cannot make moral claims in order to formulate outside the frame obligation perspective contracts. It's different in terms of obligation. Different way to live for outside logically exists involves contracts. They create civil rules. For example, you got this question, which means to treat people as an answer. There's only one way to follow a contract after punish innocent people. That means that the only possible way that we could ever have that means that the only possible way we can ever overcome skepticism is through contracts. First, the United States currently sentences juveniles life without parole. Kind of like a one right. Without the juveniles having LGBT sentences and not serving such sentences in this world, the United States is not the only country filing standard. 44 states are in front of LGBT goes on juvenile offenders. And sentencing juveniles LGBT violates the ICCPR. Big 2 continues. The United States ratified the ICCPR enacted that into the assuring development of the United States sentencing child defense levies. The United States ratification of the ICCPR contradicts the the United States has applied the sentence only and exceptional circumstances. Total number of children as adults since LGBT now to 2,484. Many more first time offenders. So I'm putting on the contracts to be. So the only way you can ever not vote us get is voting on contracts. Off. A's interpretation of the law has to depend on the resolution as true statement. B's violation doesn't depend on the resolution as true statement insofar as A is running the argument on both sides of the debate, meaning that A clearly has the resolution true, and second, this has absolutely nothing to do with the text of the resolution. C standards. One, the resolution that brings the policy question has to be normally, meaning that it has whether or not an obligation that exists to do action next to the question. Two, textuality, strong sterling fairness, grants the next resolution, the only way to determine whether or not an argument of virtue negate. This is going to be really crucial because at the end of the day, you're actually signing ballot after next, and this argument must come first because it directly appeals to the jurisdiction of the judge. Second, truth testing provides reciprocal burdens, negative burdens, conference of the after reciprocal burdens, also before the standards of primary concern for fairness, and put the an equal threshold to access the ballot. D is voter. Fairness is voter who's made a competitive activity and use that adversarial system to pursue the truth, policy, resolution, after practice, user ability to arrive at such truth to balance, tracking through all scores. This argument comes way before all of his arguments because in order to evaluate whether or not his arguments are true, they first has to be the threshold of theory. Theory is a gateway issue, and you have to evaluate it first because an argument is functionally not true to debate context if it doesn't meet the metric for theory. Then, let's go to the AC. On tours. One tour is just a huge exotic fallacy because he is saying that in a poisoned social atmosphere, the canary is one who resists social. It is a person who's got to be first thrust out of the social atmosphere. But the reason it's an exotic fallacy because he's just describing state affairs. Now, explaining why we have a moral obligation to move away from the state of affairs. Two, there's actually no normative obligation describing tours. Tours is just like making some sort of descriptive claim. He doesn't explain why we have a moral obligation or where the judge even has an obligation to the ballot in order to prevent these kinds of canary scenarios. Three, there's procedural harms. I've been through a lot of anti-Semitism in my own school because of my own Jewish heritage, which is problematic because I've been a canary in my own situation. This is problematic because if there have been multiple canaries, we have no idea who to vote for first. So I'm in my own canary scenario. At the very best, it's going to be terminal defense on the AC. Then on the wise analysis. One, there's actually no impact to the argument. He's just saying that debate won't change unless we have a positive movement. This argument presumes that debate changes is already a good thing. Meaning there's actually no way you can justify this argument without being 100% circular in the 1AR. Then two. This is just an impact justification because he says that like little changes that we exist in the future. Remember, that's like not an external impact. It's justified by moral theory. And then three is going to be 100% solvency. This argument else is going to be absolutely no break weak. There's no positive change unless we use 100% solvency. He says the debate is going to be moving away from this poisoned atmosphere. So this is going to be really problematic for Jalon because if he can't win 100% solvency, there's still going to be the canary problems, which means that all the harms are still going to be occurring in his world. It's going to be just as bad. There's going to be absolutely no change. So you can also group that argument with the ballot analysis under it. Then group the section 1 of the case. One, none of these arguments were appealed to ballot because they only say that Jalon has been a press issue, like calling this argument. The first argument said that a no was left on Jalon's back. That has absolutely nothing to do with ballot. None of these arguments even have the rhetoric ballot in them. Two, you can turn this argument debate does a lot of positive things for a lot of people. Let me tell my own narrative right now. For example, it helped me get into college. Second, the fact that I was able to develop friendships with my Star Bros and it enabled me to have a lot of friendships that I wouldn't have otherwise had. So that means I've had an extraordinarily positive debate experience. Remember, I'm giving you an alternative. I'm giving you some sort of alternative narrative to counter Jalon's narrative. Jalon faced a lot of racism. I faced a lot of benefits. We should be looking at both of these narratives. There's no way we can weigh between narratives. So at the best, worst going to be terminal defense, or at the best, we're going to be looking at some of the positive implications of debate. That's going to be an independent reason for you to vote. Then three, you turn it again. Debate has helped Jalon a lot too. For example, you got to go to the TOC twice and have a lot of arguments. Then Actually, sorry, there's gonna be like another overview to the contention, so I'm just gonna like read this as like a new job. One, turn again and blame him on BBDs. That means I'm being punished unfairly by voting me down. This is gonna lead to backlash against the position, which only going to be accusing racism. Two, turn again, he's truly realizing the issue because he would not answer my cross-examination questions in my last speech. This is really problematic because he would not discuss this issue with me in the last time we debated last round, and yet he refused to answer my cross-examination question. Three, you can turn this argument again. He's ignoring culpability because I'm being punished for the fact that I didn't do anything wrong. Because I was never racist on BBD, and I was never part of the Canaries, and I was never part of putting him in a carry. In fact, I defended him anyways, meaning that I'm A, controlling all the internal thing on Canaryism because I'm the one who actually defended him, and B, I'm being punished unfairly. That's going to lead to backlash against him. Four, you can turn again. People are going to be prepping on their case, and I'm going to be taking this case seriously. For example, before this round, I wrote a lot of arguments, and I don't want to be losing this round. I'm not learning anything about not because I care a lot about learning this round. I want to win this round. Five, you can turn again. He's masking racism by labeling me a racist when in fact I'm not racist, meaning that we can no longer distinguish between people who are actually racist and who are not racist. Is problematic because that just means that we can never actually solve the racism problem. Six, you can turn it again. It is worse for racism because if you're not targeting people properly, that means that we have no idea what the true racism are, and that just means that people are going to be unfairly treated as racist, which causes just as bad harms as racism because that means that they're being arbitrarily demonized. And then seven, you can turn it again. Second, you can turn it again. He is encouraging intervention by I don't like that argument. Sorry, you can turn it again. There's absolutely no way. You can turn it again. He is demonizing Christian Tarzan through all these arguments. You should be calling for this. The fact that he is like labeling Christian Tarzan as like some sort of demonized entity. The fact that he is making Christian Tarzan a canary in and of itself. He's trying to put Christian Tarzan in this canary environment. This is really, really problematic for Jalon because the fact that he's demonizing arguments is a huge performative contradiction. And also, criterions must come first. You have to evaluate standards-based first. One, because otherwise it's going to be intervention which trivializes racism because people don't say things that Jalon's being voted for, even though he didn't do enough work. Two, it's the only static format for discourse, meaning that's necessary for us to have any sort of constructive discourse. Three, otherwise we should just talk about the argument after the round. If John truly cared about this issue, we should be talking about the issue and not just debating the round. And then four, otherwise this pulls debate out of the hands of debating that we can never have the kind of substantive discourse that he is talking about. Then, finally, on the Dallas story, on the number one that he's been attacked, you can turn this argument. He has not been attacked. Most people who were like attacking him on VVD were demonized themselves. They said that if you're attacking John, you shouldn't be close to VVD. On the second argument, said the TOC committee wouldn't defend that. It's not true. There was a huge letter put out by the TOC committee denying Jalon. Then number three said that debate on the national circuit. There's absolutely no reason why people were harming in on the colorness analysis. Voting on this argument is going to be increasing the abuse that he is facing because people don't see this argument as a legitimate threat and only see it as a point to get the ballot.
Alright. Judges ready? Connor ready?
Yep.
Alright. So, how can you be skeptical about things and quotes that have textual records?
No, skepticism is not skeptical of things that have occurred. Skepticism is skeptical of moral accounts.
Right.
Like, skepticism would not say, there's a chair. Actually, that's not a chair because of evolution.
You're saying reject the AC. It's because you need to be skeptical of the implications coming out of the AC.
No, I'm criticizing your normative theory.
Alright. Let's go to the Miners Canary example specifically.
Sure.
Aren't those two different minds? You talk about your school and your Jewish experience at your school.
Right.
Alright. How's that relevant to the AC?
I'm talking about how I was a Miners Canary myself, and yet you're trying to get the ballot away from me, so you're ignoring my own Miners Canary experience, and this also functions as a terminal defense on you because there's two Miners Canary scenarios that have been introduced into the round, and you have no way to compare the two.
Okay, but you don't link that to the apparatus in the affirmative case.
I am very clearly linking that to the apparatus.
Alright, so let's go to the arguments then you make on the AC.
Yeah.
You say there's no reason to, why it begs the question of why the community is bad. So, wait, the post on gender or the women that are discriminated against on VBD boards isn't bad. The racist notes and the discrimination I face and me being absurd for talking about race isn't bad. These things don't need to be changed.
I mean, Jalon, you can make a number of these appeals to intuition, and I would say certainly they're bad things, but I'm saying that they do not appeal to the text of the resolution, which asks about our moral obligation.
So your justification,
and the judge can't have
your justification for the text of the resolution is through the topicality argument, right?
Well, that's, I mean, I told you the text of the resolution. It's not a topicality argument, it's a theory argument.
Okay. But that's your justification for the text.
I mean, there's other links from skepticism besides just the text of the resolution.
No. Where's your justification that says the judges must evaluate the ground from the text? Skep doesn't say that.
Oh, right. Sorry.
Yeah.
That argument was the theory argument I made.
All right. Now, wait. So what does it mean to be fair, right?
I mean, fairness means that once we're in the round, then that we're being voted on, and that a comparison of arguments is fair, meaning that the
Now,
arguments themselves are not
here's a
fair.
question.
It has
Did
nothing
you-
to do with demonization of individual opponents.
Here's a yes or no question.
Sure.
Before the round, did you try to get Rebar Niemi off the panel?
Yes, I thought that he might have been biased against
All
me
right.
because him and I had a very
So
long
why?
discussion.
So then you use privilege as a means to try and remove a judge without even asking me?
I mean, I honestly felt that there's a possibility that he might not be able to objectively judge the round. Then me and Rebar talked before the round began, and I changed my
Okay.
opinion.
So now you
because-
two have had discourse before the round that I don't know about.
I mean, Jelon, I don't know about all the discourse you've had
No.
with every judge ever, so I don't think that that's a unique argument.
All right, I see your point. Let me see the evidence before we start.
The step,
I want to see everything.
I